Hi everybody, I'm Terry and I'm from the Creative Bush Homestead. Now today I'm going to be talking about my Amigurumi journey, which started this year because every year I like to challenge my brain and do something different. So I was watching YouTube and I came across this channel that was called Le Petit Saint Crochet. And the lady's name was Elise, but I think she's since changed the channel's name to Elise Rose. Okay, so while I was watching her, because I was going down that amigurumi path, she had a design that was very, very simple, and it basically was a round ball, and it had a face on it and some little ears, and she called it a cat star. So when I went to Germany and I was staying with my grandchildren, Alan and Joni, and their mum, Carmen, I thought, oh, I'll give this a go. So I did, and they came out really, really well. If I'm able, I'll put a picture of the cat star because it's a great project to start. Obviously, the kids have their cat stars, which they throw around the room at each other and that, and because it's filled with polyfill, it doesn't damage anything, so they really enjoyed that. So then I went to a shop which was, it looked amazing from the outside. There were all these bags and different things that this shop was doing. So I needed some material because I was going to make the children some library bags, and I went in there and met Jenna. Amazing, amazing woman, very, very creative. And so consequently, I used to go there quite often and buy little bits and pieces so that I could do this sewing. And anyway, we were talking about crocheting, and I noticed that there were these beautiful tulips in her shop for sale. And I asked her, who did the tulips? And she said, oh, that's my daughter Sophie, and she sells them and does them. And I thought, oh, they're amazing. So we got talking about amigurumi, and she was actually doing a really, really huge amigurumi project for her youngest daughter as a birthday present. And she was intending to get cottons in. She had a few cottons, but she was intending to get some more cottons in. I'll just put this down, save me waving it around like a wand. Oh, it would make a nice wand, wouldn't it? Anyway, so basically, so she decided to start doing crocheting classes in Bonn, which is a town, rather large town, not far from where they were. Anyway, so got to know her really well, got to know her husband. Her husband was marvellous, David. He took Glenn and I to the airport when we left Germany to go to UK. Beautiful, beautiful family. In fact, my son still visits the shop and sees them, which is really lovely. So when I was leaving, Jenna gave me this little bag, and she'd used a Cricut to put the lettering on, the wording, and presented it to me. And this is the bag, which will also give you the name of Jenna's shop. And isn't that gorgeous? Now, Jenna also has a YouTube, but unfortunately it's spoken in German, so, but follow her on Instagram because, the more likes people get, her things are amazing, and you could get some really, really nice ideas. But anyway, back to the goodies that were in the bag. So in the bag was a collection of cottons and patterns for small things. And I thought, oh, this is great. This is some simple things that I could learn while I was traveling. So while I was traveling, I used what Jenna had put in the bag for me, and I made my first little amigurumi heart. Now, isn't that so cute? And that really got me, to say a pun, hooked. So then I decided, I came home and I thought, okay, I'll use up the cottons that I have, plus some of the cottons that Jenna had given me in the bag, and do some more. So I was looking around and I found the pattern for the tulips, which I showed you of previously. And I made one. In fact, I've made quite a few, but I haven't got around to doing the leaves, which I crochet with a bit of wire in, and the stems. So I'll get around to that one day. Another project, UFO, what do they call them? I call them unidentified flying objects. No, they're not. That is not what they're called. They're called unfinished objects. They also have another name, but I can't remember that at the moment. So then with the cottons I already had, because I had quite a collection, and years ago I used to do dishcloths out of cotton and things like that, crocheting, because I can crochet, I can knit, you know, I can do a lot of things, but this really got me going this year because I need a new challenge for my brain, so I try and do a new one every year. Last year it was the circular knitting machines, which I still use, and I'll show you that too. So, okay, then I only had really, really thin cotton, and I found this pattern for an elf, which I can't find anymore. I obviously didn't keep it. I had it on my phone, read it, sort of worked it out and did it. And it was this tiny little girl. Now, the hat isn't quite as perfect as what a hat should be on an elf, but I do love doing miniature little things. So, and I made the dress up as I went along. The body wasn't too hard, you know, you start with the legs and then you join them and then you keep going up and put the circular head on. And the bell doesn't really rattle as well as I'd like it to, but I was quite pleased with it. I mean, it's nothing, you know, I wouldn't sell it, but I was quite pleased with it. So then after that, I thought I'd like to do more. And I remember when I was traveling, Tiffany, my earring girl, she had found this bookmark crocheting book and said, oh, why don't you get this and knit a bookmark for Sterling, because he's an avid reader and he loves bookmarks. So off on that track I went. Now I've already given Sterling his and I'll show it to you later, but I'll show you what I've done so far because we're talking about what I've made. So then I started with, after doing what Tiffany thought Sterling would like, which was a frog, I started on the next one, and this is a sheep bookmark. Now, I'd never done what they call popcorn in crochet before, but I thought I'd give it a go. The eyes were a bit of a challenge, but I managed to get them on and they look okay. They're not something I'd put on all the bookmarks, but for ones that like a bit of fun, they're fine. So that's the sheep one. Okay. Then the next ones I did, so I've done two. I've done the frog, which Sterling has, and I've done the sheep, so that was quite cute. Then I thought, oh, Joni and Alan like reading. Maybe I should make some bookmarks for them, find the appropriate books for the bookmarks and send them to Germany. Well, one of the books is still coming, so they haven't been sent. So I hope it comes before the cut-off date for sending overseas. So Alan liked the idea of a lizard, though he didn't know what I was making. So this is the lizard bookmark. Pretty plain. I might add a tongue, actually. Glenn suggested I added a bit of a tongue. So that could go on there. And then, because the geckos have googly eyes, that wasn't too bad. It didn't look too bad. So then I thought, well, Joni loves horses. Let's do a horse. So this is the horse. I didn't like the googly eyes on the horse, so I basically put just the little black safety eyes and I put some eyelashes with them. And then I put this lovely mane, which I think is so cute, little ears, and we put a tail at the back. So these were sort of extras, but I think Joni will love that because she does love horses. I love the eyelashes. I thought that was a really, really cute little addition. Okay, so that was then. Okay, after that, I still had some more cottons and I thought, I found this rabbit and it was like a floppy-eared rabbit or a long-eared rabbit. So I thought, okay, I'll give that a go. So I did do it. I'll show you the pattern that I found on the internet for free. I think it's still tagged because I've already done one of these videos and I wasn't I wasn't very happy with it. So I thought, right, we'll start again. So this basically is, I'm going to take it out so it doesn't look shiny on the video. So this is the pattern that I did, but I didn't do it exactly. I mean, the pattern I did exactly the same, but when you see the bunny, you'll know that I've added more to it. So that's the bunny. So, okay, here comes the bunny. So I thought Christmas is coming. Let's make the bunny. Oops, a tree's falling down. Is that a tree? She's supposed to be sort of holding on to the tree. Okay, the tree was falling out of her hands. Well, out of one hand. It's a little bit prickly. So I added a tree to still knock up. I might have to glue it on actually, because it isn't going to be a gift. So, but anyway, that's what I ended up doing with that pattern. Isn't it cute? This came from Spotlight, this yarn, and I've still got something else I've done with it, but it's not crocheting, so I won't show that to you yet. So I just thought that came out so lovely. And in the future, I might do some more, especially around Christmas time. I love the jingly bell. Oh, yeah, love it, love it. Okay, so then after that, I was in Spotlight, and Spotlight, for those of you that are watching overseas, is like Hobby Lobby. I can't say Joann's because I think Joann's is closed down, but it's like Hobby Lobby. That's where you get all your craft supplies and wools and materials and things like that. So I was in there and I saw these two books, and they were Amigurumi, and I thought, oh, I've got to have these books. So I bought them, and then the first one I did out of the book is, look at that. It's a teddy bear for a baby. And I love the fact that it didn't have safety eyes. You actually, because safety eyes aren't always that safe, unfortunately. Not really good for children under the age of 3 or 4. So basically, I like the fact that it had the embroidered eyes. I like the fact that it had, the nose was crocheted and then embroidered, and the fact that it had a material tummy. I just thought that was so cute. So basically, that was what I did out of the books. Now, we'll be showing you these books in a minute after I finish showing you what I did next. So then I've spoken about my circular knitting machines, and I found this pattern from a lady on YouTube called Hoop and Home, and I like the idea of winter. You can do your hats and your mitts and your scarves on the knitting machine. But then I've noticed a lot of people are actually doing stuffed toys. And there was one that really, really caught my eye, and I thought I've got to try. It's called a sitting angel. So here is the sitting angel. Isn't it so gorgeous? But I went one step more with my angel. I actually put, you might be able to see, silver in the wings, because the wings are on the back. It's just such a great pattern. And, you know, you don't have to use it as a sitting angel. If you use the larger knitting machine, the Addy 46 or a Centro 48, you could make quite a large one and maybe fill the base with sand or something heavy and make a great doorstop. But with this one, I thought, let's just go one step further. Now, I may be able to turn this on when I find the switch. The switch is eluding me. Okay, where's the switch? Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. You need fingers. Okay. So you can just see in there, in between the legs, a tea light. And at night time, and I'll see if I can find a picture of it at night. This isn't showing it up very well. At night time, the light just looks so beautiful when this angel is sitting on your buffet or wherever you do all your Christmas things. And like I said, you could make a larger sitting angel. And I'd really like to add a halo and use glittered pipe cleaner on the top. I think that would be a nice addition. But how nice would that look sitting underneath your Christmas tree if you made the bigger one with this pattern on the Centro 48 or the Addy 46, which I have both. Okay, so that was my knitting machine amigurumi. I still think they're amigurumi because they are, as amigurumi is, I think the Japanese means small, soft toys or something like that. If I get the real meaning for it, I'll type it in underneath here somewhere, if I can work that out, because I remember how to do things and then I forget and then I have to learn all over again. So that's that one. So then, as I showed you in the rabbit, there was this beautiful, sparkly, Christmas-coloured variegated yarn. I'm just trying to turn this off. I just did. Okay, good. Just sit there for a little while, Angel. That's really, really good. And I decided to knit a Christmas stocking. Now, I knitted this by hand, so it is a sock pattern, a very, very plain sock pattern. And one year I was at a market around Christmas time. I think it was Urucoin, actually. And that's a small town in the wheat belt of Western Australia. So I made these reindeers. It's got a jingle too. And I made them into brooches, but they didn't sell. So that was okay. So I thought, oh, wouldn't that look cute on my Christmas stocking? Now, this Christmas stocking is just stuffed with polyfill so that it can sit and I can look at it and remind myself that's something I could do in the future. But the reindeer was actually cut out with felt on my Cricut maker. And then I added a pom-pom for his nose and the clips that you use, you know, in paper crafting, a red one, and put some sparkle on it. I made the ivy leaves out of Fimo, and then I had a couple of red balls, and the black eyes are also the pushing pins that, well, they're like a split pin, I'd call them, and added some glitter, you know, glitter glue on his antlers and on his ears, and a little bit of white paint on his eyes just to give him a bit of character. So I really love doing that, and I've still got some, and I've actually got some more on order in my cart for Spotlight. So I think next year, or even if I get enough time, because I can knit stockings on my Addy 22, and then what you do is then you put a heel in. So that's a quick way for me to do it using this particular yarn from Spotlight. Sparkly, you can get it in white, you can get it in other variegated colours. Yeah, it's great. And then I just put a little tag on it and make a tag with the person's name, which I could do with my Cricut, and they'd be really cute. And you could make smaller ones. I mean, I've knitted baby socks, so I could actually adapt these and make them a lot smaller so they could actually hang on the tree too. And if I did it, I'd actually put candy canes in. I don't know how long the candy canes would last in my house in a Christmas stocking, but, you know, we won't talk about my sweet tooth. Okay, so that is what I've made. Now, at the moment, I am doing some makings. So I have finished one very, very special making. I've actually even managed to put some pants on her, so she's not nude because I haven't got it. Well, I'm doing the clothing, but I'll show you that when I present the book in a few minutes. So this is so cute. Isn't she gorgeous? Now, this came from a book that I found at Spotlight, and I'm sure you can get these books on Amazon too. And I actually put in her legs those sponge rollers that you can roll up just to give her legs a bit of stability. She doesn't really need them in her arms because her arms will go into clothing. That's just a bit of her hair. Her hair. Now, I think I've actually used the wrong yarn for her hair. She had a scalp, so you don't actually see where I've put the yarn in. and drawn it around, but I've actually taken the yarn a bit further down the back of her head, so I'll probably embroider there. But I think next time I do this doll, I will definitely be using a thinner yarn for her hair. Okay, let's get to the books, okay? So I'll go slow with this, so if you want to take a screenshot of the books so that you know what it is and where to get it. You've already seen the free pattern for the long-eared bunny rabbit, and that actually I found on the internet, and it's at Alexa -- toy. That's where I found that, if you're interested in doing that or starting amigurumi. I personally think that there are some really, really simple patterns out there. Go to Elise Rose on YouTube, Elise Rose Crochet, and she really does. Oh, she's amazing. Absolutely. And such a lovely lady to listen to. And she's got some very, very simple patterns for starting crochet of amigurumi. So that's a good one to go and see. So, okay, let's do the bookies. Look at that. That's the bookies, and there's the frog I made for Sterling. Let's see if I can actually find the picture. I should have, yep. I should have a sticker, which has fallen out, but there's a picture of Freddy the Frog. Now, the mouth was a bit of a challenge, but I did it. It wasn't too bad. There's that's a dog. That's Harry the Hound. That's Carrie the cat? Carl the cat. It's a bit hard because the writing's showing up backwards. Then there's a lion and a dragon and the sheep that I've done. What else can I show you? Oh, a snake, a hare. Look at that. And Freddy the Frog. They haven't actually showed the lizard on this page, I don't think. Okay, so I'll find the lizard and the horse and I can show you them. But bookies I bought from Amazon, and it's called Bookies, Bookmarks to Crochet, and it's by Johannes Matthias. Very, very clever man. Very, very clever man. So let's see if I can find. There's Gary the gecko, which you saw. And then I think the next one I've tagged, which I haven't tagged, but Lewis the lion, the Carl the cat. There's even a giraffe. Look at that. My sister has a lot of giraffes, so I should make one of those for her. Oh, look at the way they've put it on this. That is so cute. So where are you, Harry? No, you're not called Harry. Oh, here he is. Now, this is really clever because he doesn't just have to be a horse. So his name's Paul the horse, and you can see he's got they look like googly eyes, but they're really poppy eyes. And evidently Paul has a secret identity. So there's Paul the horse, and his secret identity is a unicorn. So how's that great for girls that really love unicorns? I don't know that I'd put the poppy eyes on, but, you know, if you think somebody likes a bit of fun, that's great. So that's bookies. That's what I made the bookmarks out of. Next is the book I've found at Spotlight, but I know that you can get it from Amazon. It's called Cute Amigurumi Animals. And here's a picture of 2 dogs that are amigurumi. Okay, that's in the book. This I'm going to do next. It's a koala. Isn't it gorgeous? I've actually just downloaded another koala from Etsy. This is Edward the reindeer. Now, this is another great one to do for Christmas, for under the Christmas tree. Love that one. And then there's a bunny. And the bunny well, his name is Martin the rabbit, and he actually has material ears. So how cute's that? And there's many, many more in the book. So check it out on Amazon. It's not, especially if you do the bear like I did. I'll just see if I can find, oh, here we go, a picture of the bear. It's called Bertie the Furry Bear. Now, Bertie's got a lot of stripes on his body. Can you see that? But I didn't do that. But that is a great starter for somebody who hasn't done amigurumi before. It's very simple pattern. Okay, so that's that one. Then the next one I got at Spotlight, which I know you can buy on Amazon, I've seen it there, is my crochet doll. And she is wearing the Red Riding Hood outfit that I am currently crocheting for her. She can't stay in her undies forever. But this book is amazing, and some of the actual dressing up clothing that she has, look at this one, so cute, so cute. So she's got a lot of clothing in this book. There's 50 cute crochet doll with over 50 cute crochet doll clothes and accessories, and they are brilliant. Look at this one. She's at the beach, which is probably where we should be, or in a pool, because today is getting quite hot. Okay, now just want to talk about the yarn that I've been using. So the bookies, or the bookmarks that I made, were actually crocheted with what the book suggested you use, and that's Cotonia Sheepjes. So I actually have this colour to do a fox, but I'm actually going to have to buy more because I'm doing a larger fox. I bought this to do the fox bookmark, but I'm actually doing a larger fox, which I'll show you a picture of in my future makings. Well, I am making him, but I haven't really got very far, so it's not worth showing. Okay, so that's Cotonia. Cotonia. Now, to buy it in Australia is quite expensive. I know that the UK and the US can get it a lot cheaper. But in Australia, it's about $7 a ball. I mean, you don't use a whole ball for the bookies, so that's not too bad. That, you know, as a gift, that's a reasonable price. But keeping in mind that you may have to buy 3 different colours for the bookies, unless you're doing Gary the Gecko, which is just one colour, black and the white eyes. So that is an expensive, for me, that is expensive. So I only use this if I'm doing something very, very special. Now, I'd already told you about the rabbit. I'd used cotton that I'd had around for ages. The Christmas stocking was done with yarn from Spotlight. The tulip was actually done with Cotonia. So, and it's a really lovely cotton, but like I said, it's quite an expensive cotton to buy in Australia. So there are other alternatives. Now, love it or hate it, I'm going to mention an online website where I get a lot of things through the mail. Now, I know there's a lot of negativity about Chinese products and Chinese online shops and things like that, but the way I look at it, and you know, I'm nearly 70 years old, so I've seen what comes and goes and where things are made and where things aren't made, and I won't get into my opinions on that, but love it or hate it, this particular place is enabling me to continue with my amigurumi because the yarns are such a reasonable price and they're quite nice yarns. So for my doll, I actually got a yarn from Temu called Snowball, and it was only $3.28 for 40 grams. And yeah, I can afford that because, you know, that's, you know, well, it's not half the price of, well, yeah, it is. It is half the price of $7 something. and it's a really nice yarn to crochet with, and it's, you know, it's come out so beautiful, and the colors you can get are amazing. So I've done some tulips with it, and they've crocheted up beautifully, and of course I've done my doll. Okay, so, and I'm doing her clothes with that too. So if you feel that you can't afford the expensive cottons that some of these patterns require, then, and you're not adverse to using online, what would you call them, online shops, whatever, like Temu, then yeah, buy it from there. I mean, a lot of people carry on about, oh, you know, they've got all your details, whatever. Excuse me, everybody's got your details these days. Everybody's got your emails. Everybody knows, you know, not everybody knows how to scam, and let's hope it, well, I don't, and I'd hope that the people I know don't, but let's face it, there's scammers out there. If you want to protect yourself financially, and when you're using internet to pay, I suggest Apple Pay or PayPal. They're not hard to get onto to use. I basically use PayPal because I find that's the most secure, and I have had a problem in the past with money having been taken out of my PayPal, and they refunded it straight away and were able to cancel any future payments from that company. And I was so pleased. So, you know, I don't find myself having a problem with using PayPal with Temu. And I'm pretty sure that if you did Shine or some of the others, you could use PayPal too. So your credit card or your cards that you need to use are quite secure. So I'm happy with that. So that's where I get my yarn for my doll and for future products that I'll be doing, or future projects, I think is a better word. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so now we're into 32 minutes, which is not how long I needed, well, I intended to go, but we're nearly at the end. So, you know, if you're still here, thank you. And if you could give me a like, and if you want to subscribe, I don't do videos very consistently. I have a brain that just goes all over the place. I know what it's called now, and I know what my problems are, but still keeping on track can be a bit of a problem anyway. Subscribe and follow me, and, you know, do the notification bell if you want to see what else I'm up to, because believe you me, this isn't all I do. And next week, I'm actually thinking of bringing out all my unfinished objects to show you. So you don't feel bad about you having unfinished objects. Because let's face it, if you're a crafter like I am, you will have unfinished objects. That just reminded me of something. There's a word called craft, which is letters all put together. And I think it sums me up pretty well. And it actually stands for can't remember a fudge, for want of a better word, thing. That's me. I fit into that category really, really well. So if you want to see all the unfinished objects that I have, that I've started and never finished, put on the notification bell, because I'll be back in my next video to show you that. Okay, I need to have a sip of a drink because I'm getting a bit dry in the throat for all this talking. Okay, sip away. Projects that I want to start. This is fantastic. Okay, so at the moment, I have quite a few, but I have only put 2 in my book to do. I actually, it's not, probably people think, oh, well, that's a waste of paper, blah, blah, blah. I have a fantastic printer. It's an Epson, you fill the inks. It's great, lasts forever. I've had it for over a year, and I've just filled the inks, and I print a lot for my crafts. But personally, I find it very difficult to follow patterns on, some people use Kindle, I use my iPad, or my phone, and I do find it difficult. So I do need a printed pattern, and plus I can actually hang it on my, you might be able to see behind me, that actually holds, it's from Fox Collection, has a fantastic light with a magnifying glass, also has a clip that you can hold your patterns with, and then also another special clip for holding your frames if you're doing, you know, hoops or whatever. Okay, well, that's why I like the paper ones. I can actually hang them there and see them. And then I have a little digital counter, which I got from Temu. It's fantastic. And that's on my finger. So every row I do, I just press so I can keep up with knowing what row I've done, and I don't have to, you know, mark the page. Okay, let's get back to what I have started, but it's really a future project because it might take me a while because I'm doing the clothes for my doll. Does anybody have a good name for my doll? Maybe you could put that in the comments below if you come up with a really nice name for my doll. I know she's going to be wearing a Red Riding Hood outfit, but I'm pretty sure, because I still like playing with dolls and dressing them up, I'll be making more clothes for her. Okay, let's get on to this. Future makings. I'm going to take him out of the sleeve because it does get shiny. I'm sorry this is going so long, but I really needed to get it all in. Look at that. Isn't he adorable? Now, I love foxes, foxy loxies as we call them. I know they're a nuisance. I know that they're a problem and they're cold and things like that, but I fell in love with foxes when I watched one of the first episodes of the original All Creatures Great and Small, and he found a baby fox and brought it up, and that's when I fell in love with foxes. So it probably was about 11 or 12, and I have to crochet him. I've got as far as one leg and the bottom of this leg, so we'll get there. Okay, that's Rupert the fox, and he comes from Critter Stitch, which is where you can buy these patterns on Etsy. I'll put that in the description box below. Had a bit of a problem with the description box below in my last one that I actually published. It had 7 views, but I wasn't happy with it. I don't think I was very happy when I did it, to be quite honest. I've been going through a bit, but, you know, that's life. Okay, the next pattern that I want to do is called Ladybug Sprite. And she also is a pattern from Critter Stitch, which I bought on Etsy. Look, I did it again. I really should take the patterns out because, like I said, I need the printed patterns. Look at that. You can see the little ladybug there, but you can also do her in a different. So my grandchildren in Germany, their surname actually means, in German, a field of ladybugs. So that's why I bought this pattern. I'd love to do that for Joni to hang off her school backpack. And I could try and do a male one that looks a bit more masculine for Alan. So there you go. And look at all these beautiful, I'd love to. I've got patterns for crochet flowers, so that is just such a lovely presentation. So, okay, they are the crocheted ones. But there is one more, and it's knitted, that I must show you. And that's back in this book. And these are all the patterns that I get for free. And I crochet them or I make them. Now, this isn't a fantastic photo of him, but people use him in lots of different ways. In fact, I can't remember who does it, but there is a woman on Instagram that actually has knitted a few of these, and she uses animation and has little candid videos of what these frogs are up to. Now, I don't particularly like the eyes on this frog. I have seen them with the black eyes and different colours like deeper greens and that. But this is the frog. And you can put wire in his legs and arms so that you can move him around. And when I knit him, because I'm waiting for a, not fluffy wool, but sort of a mohairish sort of wool from Temu. And he also has, which I also bought, clothing. So I bought his little overall pattern so he can have his little overalls. I think there actually is a picture. I can pull these out because I'll put them back in. Oh yeah, here he is with his overalls on and black eyes. Doesn't he look so much better? He's so much cuter. And he also has a jumper. Now, oh, here it is. It's so cute. And I do love frogs. We actually live... Could you believe that was Siri? She listens into everything, but that's okay. I've got nothing to hide. I'm on YouTube. What have I got to hide? Okay, look at this with his little jumper on. Isn't he so cute? And the black eyes look so much better and just so much cuter. Look, it's almost like the borrowers, isn't he? He's got a little thimble for a cup. I don't know how she made that croissant, but it could be made out of female or something, and the little vase. So that is really, really cute, and that's what I'm going to be doing next. That pattern is actually from Dot Pebbles on Etsy. So if you like knitting, you know, you can, amigurumi is covered in knitting too. So if you knit something, it's amigurumi. Well, that's what I say anyway. And I'm pretty sure that would be covering it. Okay, lovely people. Thank you for watching. If you've gotten this far, you've done really, really well. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope your future is bright and happy. And as I normally say, I'll catch you on the other side. Bye for now.